LGBT people take up about 4% of the US population, which is about 9 million people. But what sets them apart from the rest of our population is how they are viewed in today's society. They are treated differently every day. They are socially, economically, and emotionally discriminated against. They experience a lot of hate and ignorance from people in the workplace, in schools, in public, in politics, basically everywhere. Socially, LGBT people are affected a lot. They are called many homophobic slurs, and those words are also commonly used as derogatory words. They also receive hate from religious people in churches who believe that homosexuality is a sin. They receive and experience a lot of hate on the internet and social media. And they also experience struggles from friends and family.
My name is Lisa, and I work in the ABSC room.
And how do you identify in the LGBT community?
I identify as gay.
How often do you hear people use gay, fag, dyke, etc. as an insult or even just as a joke?
I would say I hear it at least a couple times a week. Depends in what environment I'm in and everything. Well, usually when those words are used, it's in a negative context. So it's not like I personally get offended, but it is offensive because it's negative.
Have any family or friends distanced themselves when you came out?
I came out 3 years ago when I was in college. I had a couple of friends from college that I felt distanced themselves, and to this day I'm not 100% sure if it was because I came out, but I think it was a little different for them, and I don't think they really knew how to have that conversation with me.
Yeah.
Because it was new territory for them. And for my family was super supportive. I'm very lucky to have the family that I have. I did feel that my dad maybe was a little bit indifferent about it. He made a comment that he thought maybe it was a phase. But now, as the years have gone by, he realizes, that this is just who I am, and he's very supportive.
One of the biggest things, I guess, on social media refers back to the first question, is a lot of people use, "Oh, that's gay," or stuff like that. Have you seen a lot of that on the internet?
Yeah, I definitely have. Just like random like YouTube videos, and you scroll down and you see the comments. There's a lot of, "Oh, man, that's really gay," or "What a faggot." The word faggot, for me, is very disrespectful. I do not tolerate that at all.
Have you experienced any hate from any religious people or church groups?
Not my immediate family, but my extended family, like uncle. He actually is a priest, or a deacon, I guess. And when he heard about me, I think he said that he is going to pray for me and pray for my family. So he hasn't really said anything to me, like personally, but I can just judge. I'm pretty aware of people's energies and how they feel towards me, and he definitely kind of distanced himself.
Yeah. Do people look at you funny if you hold hands with somebody that's of the same gender as you?
For me personally, I definitely experience times where if I'm holding like my girlfriend's hand, we get extra looks than if I was holding hands with a male. So yeah, I definitely think that I do get a little bit more stares. I haven't ever felt, I guess, unsafe or anything like that. But yeah, there is times where I do feel like I may not be able to show affection to my girlfriend just because I'm not sure how, if it's safe for us to be public.
The workplace is another place that LGBT people are highly discriminated against. Did you know that there are still 29 states that can legally fire you just because you're gay? And in 34 states, it's legal to fire someone just because they're transgender.
In American society, how are LGBT people treated in terms of careers?
Like, for instance, in Minnesota, it is illegal to discriminate against sexual orientation. But in other states, I know that it's still legal to fire someone because of their sexual orientation.
Have you ever personally experienced or know someone who has experienced discrimination in the workplace from employees or bosses?
I personally haven't, but for instance, like my girlfriend, she works in corporate America. So that is a very different environment because it's with a lot of, males who are preferred, I guess privileged, mainly white, conservative. So for her, it's a lot trickier for her to come out as gay because for one, she is female, and two, it's very competitive in corporate America. So she has a little bit of a harder time coming out versus me.
People react to you coming out?
Okay, I had like a lot of different reactions. From my friends, they were all like, oh, sweet, cool, not surprised. I've had reactions, usually from males that were like, oh, but you're too pretty to be gay, or wow, I'm shocked, like they didn't see it coming. I think the typical reaction that I get is, wow, you're so pretty. And so it's just kind of like, I mean, do you have to be ugly to be gay? But overall, I've had a pretty positive reaction.
Have you ever been called names or bullied because of your sexuality?
I haven't really been directly called names. I think actually there was this incident where I was showing affection to my girlfriend and someone was passing by and said faggots. So that was, that's just sad that someone, likes to spread hate that way.
Did any of the hate make you feel sad or, ashamed at all of who you were?
Yeah, definitely. I was very, very sensitive to how people were going to react to me because I cared a lot about how others saw me and what they thought of me. And part of that was just because, I was younger. I wasn't, fully comfortable with who I was yet. And so I was just very sensitive to what others, the facial expressions they'd give me. So yeah, I would take it personally. It was really hard for me, to feel like I maybe couldn't be myself. Yeah.
How is the hate around the world, maybe not personally towards you, but just how, American society has viewed LGBT people? How has that affected you emotionally?
Well, when the gay marriage in Minnesota was, in the law and there was passing, you had to vote on it. That was a pretty intense time for me because I was still, freshly coming out and becoming more confident with myself. But seeing other people, what really hurt me was when I would be on the internet and, these people would just give their 2 cents, pretty much saying that they don't agree with same-sex marriage and that's it. It'd be really hurtful because they were able to just type on the computer, oh, I don't agree with same-sex marriage. And then they were able to walk away from that computer screen and go be happy with their partner or not even have a worry in the world. So basically what I'm saying is words hurt a lot. And because I just felt like, how can you really have an opinion on something when it's not truly affecting your life or really has anything to do with your life?
Exactly.
And not even understanding or willing to understand the struggle and the actual feelings that go through me. So that was hard because I just felt like it was so easy for people just to give their opinion and then walk away and not realize that it's really hurtful to hear that.
Yeah. And has it affected your self-esteem at all?
Yeah, definitely. I was very insecure, and I still deal with my insecurities and everything. But as the years have gone by, I've matured, I've grown, and I've realized that I'm embracing who I am, and I see it as this is a challenge
Mhm.
in my life, and I'm going to make the best of it. I'm going to learn so much from it, and I want to help others. It's, if anything, it just really inspired me to do good.
Yeah, and that just relates to my last question is overall, how has everything that you've experienced from your sexuality and in the world, like how has that made you a stronger person?
Wow, I mean, it's been honestly the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life. I've been through a lot with my family, but like this, me coming out has brought my family so much closer together, and I feel like I am gay for a reason, and it's just made me more confident in who I am, and I truly believe that life is about, you know, challenging yourself, self-reflecting, looking within, and this has definitely challenged me, and it continues to challenge me, but I would never go back. Honestly, I wish I would have came out when I was a lot younger.
Well, that is a great story. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
How do you want people around the world to help stop the discrimination against LGBT people?
I want people to come together and actually listen rather than have an opinion before really understanding what's going on. Like one of my favorite quotes is, "You're not entitled to disagree until you understand."
Definitely.
So that's what I want them to know.
Yeah, and one last thing is, what's one thing that you would like to say to society, one thing that you want them to know about your LGBT community?
I just want people to know and remember that I am a human being, breathe the same air as you. You know, I have the same emotions and feelings as anyone else, and you know, my life is just as valid as your life. So I want people to just remember that life is so short, and this was something that is, you know, completely out of my control. So I just want to be, you know, validated that I am a human being and I deserve the same rights and, you know, respect as someone else, because that's what I give others, and I expect that in return.
All right, thank you.